Life-changing in 48 hours. Fastest way to success formula. If I told you that your biggest problem could be solved in just 48 hours, would you believe it? Probably not. But today, I'm going to explain the scientific and practical method that allows you to accomplish in 2 days what others can't achieve in years. Let me explain through a short true story. In 1999, a Japanese businessman named Masao Kawasaki conducted an experiment that shocked the thinking of the world's most productive people. Kawasaki divided 50 employees of his company into 2 groups. The first group was given 1 week to complete a task, while the second group was given the same task with a target to finish in just 48 hours. The results were astonishing. The first group, which had a full week, worked slowly, took time to perfect things, and in the end, 50% of them couldn't complete the target. But the people in the 48-hour group completed the same work with a 90% success rate. How did this happen? This is where Parkinson's law works. When you have more time, you tend to stretch things out, but when time is limited, the mind shifts into a different mode, survival mode. In this mode, the human brain eliminates distractions, begins to make decisions quickly, and the mind works 10 times sharper. Hello, listener. Welcome once again to our channel, Vorldrevolution. First of all, I would like to thank all of you because with your tremendous love and support, we have reached 3,000 subscribers, for which I will always be grateful. In today's book summary, there will be only 8 lessons, and if you understand all these lessons, I promise you will achieve things you never even imagined possible. Friends, if you truly want to be successful in your life, make sure to write success in 48 hours in the comments. Let's not waste your valuable time and move directly to lesson 1. If you have earphones, you can use them to keep your attention focused on the video. Lesson 1. The psychological effect of 48 hours. Why does this method work? Imagine you're going to your best friend's wedding and suddenly realize you have only 48 hours left. The tasks that have been pending for weeks, shopping, packing, buying gifts, all start happening at lightning speed. You focus only on this without any distractions, and amazingly, everything gets managed. This isn't magic, but the deadline effect. When the brain receives the signal that time is limited, it automatically shifts into high-speed mode. This is the 48-hour rule that supercharges your thinking, planning, and action. Have you ever heard that work expands to fill the time allotted? This saying is based on Parkinson's law. If you're given a month to complete a project, you'll relax for the first 25 days and then frantically finish the work in the last 5 days. But if the same task needs to be finished in 48 hours, the brain operates at full power, and you start delivering output without any excuses. When our brain gets a sense of urgency, it focuses all its energy on one point. This is why when someone says, "I need this work by tomorrow morning," we stay up all night to complete it. Human nature is such that until there's a strong jolt, we don't like to leave our comfort zone. Think about it. If you were told that your entire life could change in a day, would you believe it? Trust me, 48 hours is enough to transform anything. All the major innovations in the world had one thing in common: a frenzied speed. Whether it's Steve Jobs or Elon Musk, these people don't fear deadlines. They turn them into their strength. If a fixed time isn't set for a task, it will never be completed. This is the mentality of every successful person. I still have time. I'll do it tomorrow. This is your biggest enemy. The game of procrastination is such that you won't even realize when years pass by just in planning and thinking. To be honest, whatever you want in life will come only with a now or never mindset. Just imagine what could happen if you dedicate the next 48 hours solely to your goals. Dedicated effort for 48 hours can take you where people try to reach for years. The scientific angle is also interesting. According to neuroscience, when the brain gets limited time, it releases dopamine, which boosts motivation. When we set deadlines, our mind enters a flow state where performance peaks with minimal distraction. This is why students study all night for exams and magically remember everything. This isn't a miracle, but a brain trick that, if used correctly, can change your entire life. So the next time you dream big, instead of stretching it out for years, adopt the rule of taking the first big step in 48 hours. Believe me, when you tell yourself, just 48 hours, no excuses, your world will truly begin to change. Lesson 2. How to set the right goals. Smart planning for 48 hours. If you don't know where you're going, any road won't be wrong. This line might seem small to think about, but goal setting is the most important thing for determining the right direction in life. The 48-hour rule will work only when your target is clear and measurable. Otherwise, it will be like trying to use Google Maps without an address. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If your goal doesn't meet these 5 criteria, even 48 hours of effort could be wasted. Let's say your goal is, I want to improve my life. This is a very vague target. But if you make it smart, it would be, in the next 48 hours, I will establish a habit of waking up at 5 a.m. and exercising for 30 minutes every day. Here, the target is clear, measurable, and time-bound. Have you ever wondered why there's such a difference between a student's 10-day study period and the study done 48 hours before an exam? Because then their target becomes completely smart. Specific, only necessary topics. Measurable, how many chapters are left. Achievable, memorize overnight. Related, necessary for the exam. And time-bound, exam timeline. If we adopt this strategy for life's bigger goals, success could be just a few hours away. A person who wants to do everything at once ends up doing nothing. The biggest mistake when setting goals is creating too many targets at once. When you put the load of 10 things on the mind simultaneously, analysis paralysis occurs. This means so much time is spent just thinking that no energy remains for taking action. Therefore, fix only 1 or 2 most important targets for 48 hours and focus fully on them. To set goals correctly, use the reverse engineering trick. This means breaking your goal into smaller tasks and giving them a timeline. Let's say you need to work on a business idea in the next 48 hours. Allocate the first 12 hours for research, the next 12 for planning, then 12 hours for action, and the final 12 hours for review. When every step is clear, the mind can complete it without wandering. Clear intentions make the path easier. When your goal is properly set, you'll feel for yourself how much can be changed in 48 hours. So before taking on any new challenge, ask yourself just one question. Is my target smart? If yes, believe me, your victory is assured. Lesson 3. Mindset Reset. The fastest way to change yourself immediately. We become what we repeatedly do. If your thinking remains the same, your results will also remain the same. But can a person really change their mindset in just 48 hours? The answer is yes, because change requires intention, not time. When a person's thinking changes, their entire life can change. The fastest way to change your mindset is an identity shift, seeing yourself as the person you want to become. Think about it. If a smoker only says, I should quit smoking, they probably never will. But if that same person says, I am a non-smoker, their entire thinking changes. You simply need to abandon your old identity and adopt a new one. Fake it till you become it. Fool your mind and force it to think what you want. In one experiment, some people were asked to pose like superheroes for 2 minutes, chest out, neck high. In just 2 minutes, their confidence increased, stress decreased, and even their way of speaking changed. This means your body language can also change your mindset. Now let's adopt another scientific method, neuroassociations. The brain only repeats what it associates with pain or pleasure. Think about it. If you enjoy eating pizza but feel pain going to the gym, you'll always choose pizza. But if you connect the gym with pleasure and pizza with pain, your mindset will change automatically. This is the same technique adopted by top athletes and successful people. They make their hard work enjoyable. The easiest way to reset your mindset is instant action. If you want to bring any change within yourself, immediately do something that takes you in that direction. Read a book, make a new decision, meet an expert, or make a big commitment to yourself. Until there's a trigger, the mindset won't change. Change your thinking, and your destiny will change. 48 hours is enough to adopt any new mindset. You just need to make a promise to yourself. I will become the person I was born to be. Lesson 4. How to build the right habits that stick even after 48 hours. Our life is the result of our habits. If you continue to use the same old methods, nothing new will happen in your life. But the problem is that most of us start new habits but can't maintain them, whether it's going to the gym, waking up early, eating healthy, or studying. We remain enthusiastic for a few days, then gradually the habit fades away. But why does this happen? To change habits, you first need to understand the habit loop. Every habit consists of 3 things: trigger, the initial signal; routine, the habit; and reward. Let's say you have a habit of eating sweets every night. Here, the trigger is finishing dinner, the routine is eating sweets, and the reward is feeling satisfaction or happiness. If you want to break a bad habit, you need to keep the trigger and reward the same, but change the routine. Now the question arises: how to build habits in 48 hours that stick? The answer is the 2-minute rule. Whenever you want to start a new habit, make it so easy that you can't avoid it. If you want to develop a reading habit, make a rule to read for just 2 minutes. If you want to go to the gym, warm up for just 2 minutes. Our mind fears big things, but easily adopts small steps. In addition, link your habit with another task, habit stacking. For example, if you want to meditate for 10 minutes every day, make a rule to do it after brushing your teeth. If you want to exercise, do it immediately after your morning tea. When habits are linked to an existing routine, they become difficult to break. The interesting thing is that if you maintain a habit for 48 hours without interruption, the brain starts considering it the new normal. This is why when people take on challenges like a 30-day fitness challenge, maintaining the habit becomes easier for them. Only the first step is difficult. The most important thing is environment design. If you want to study, always keep books on your table, not hidden in the cupboard. If you want to eat healthy, remove junk food and keep healthy snacks visible. Our environment influences our habits the most. Consistency beats motivation. People often think that building habits requires a lot of motivation, but in reality, it requires small actions that repeat every day. Habits stick when you make them part of your identity. Don't say, "I go to the gym." Say, "I am a fit person." When identity changes, habits follow automatically. Lesson 5. How to overcome your biggest weakness in just 48 hours. Laziness, fear, lack of confidence, overthinking, lack of discipline, anger, or repeatedly giving up. These are all weaknesses. But if approached correctly, you can start fighting your biggest weakness in just 48 hours. Our weaknesses hold us back only until we recognize them. The first step is to write down your biggest weakness. Yes, don't just think about it, write it on paper. When you clearly see your weakness, your mind automatically starts forming a plan to deal with it. Now comes the most important step: shock your system. Our mind changes rapidly when it receives a sudden major change. For example, if your weakness is laziness, take the challenge to remain completely active for the next 48 hours. If you lack confidence, set a target to talk to 5 new people each day for these 2 days. Start by doing what scares you the most. After this comes the reverse engineering method. If your weakness is making excuses, ask yourself, if I couldn't make any excuses, what would I do? If a fear is holding you back, ask, if I could overcome this fear, how would I do it? When you think about the answers to these questions, your mind will automatically find solutions. If you truly want to get rid of your weakness, change the way you think about yourself. Don't say, "I need to increase my confidence," but say, "I am a confident person." When you start seeing yourself in that new form, your mind will start working accordingly. And the final thing, micro wins. It might be difficult to eliminate a weakness overnight, but you can weaken it by achieving small victories. If laziness is your weakness, focus on just 5 minutes of work. If hesitation is your problem, express your opinion in front of someone for just 10 seconds. When small steps start succeeding, big success follows automatically. Your weakness won't completely disappear in 48 hours, but you'll learn to control it. Once you realize that your weakness is within your control, winning over it will just be a matter of time. Friends, we have a community with more than 2,400 members already joined. Join us, along with our Telegram channel where you can post something positive and also talk to us directly. Go ahead, the links for both are in the description. Join us. Let's not waste time and move on to the next lesson. Lesson 6. New money-making habits and how to start a new income source in 48 hours. They say there are 2 ways to make money. Either work for someone else or work for yourself. However, most people know only one way to make money, a job, and that's the biggest mistake. If you want to change your financial situation, you need to start thinking differently about money. Creating new income sources. You will need to create new sources of income. The good news is that you can start a new income source in just 4 days. Change your thinking and money will grow automatically. First, you need to move beyond the fixed income mindset. Most people think that earning money requires significant skills or large investments. But in reality, small ideas can also generate substantial income if you know how to execute them properly. Now the real question: how to start a new income source in 48 hours. Follow these 3 steps. Step 1. Identify your strengths. What do you enjoy doing? What are you better at than others? Can you write, speak, teach, design, edit videos, or do you have expertise in something? If yes, you can convert it into income. For example, if you enjoy speaking, you can start a YouTube channel. Step 2. Minimum investment, maximum profit. If you don't have money, don't worry. In today's era, the internet is your biggest investment. You can start earning without spending any money through online freelancing, Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, selling digital products, ebooks, online courses, templates, dropshipping, or affiliate marketing, social media management for small businesses. The 48-hour challenge. Here's the most interesting part. Set a time limit for yourself. Whatever idea you like, set a target to implement it in the next 48 hours. First day, research and planning. Decide which income source to try. Second day, take direct action. Post your first content, upload your first gig, find your first client. When you give yourself a deadline, your mind works faster. This is Parkinson's law. When you have less time, you become more focused and productive. Remember, the first step is always the hardest. Lesson 7. Discipline and consistency. How to transform 48 hours into lifelong success. The real secret to success isn't brilliant planning or intelligence. It's discipline and consistency. But truthfully, 90% of people fail at these 2 things. How many times have you thought, I'll wake up early tomorrow, or I'll start exercising from the new year, or I'll reduce my social media usage? What happens? For the first 2 or 3 days, enthusiasm remains high, then gradually everything cools down. This is where most people give up. But those who transform this enthusiasm into habit are the ones who progress in life. How to maintain discipline that started in 48 hours. 1. Discipline isn't innate, it's developed. Discipline is like a muscle, it strengthens with regular use. If you think, I'm too lazy, don't worry. Discipline isn't inborn, anyone can develop it. Start with just a 48-hour challenge. Tell yourself, I'll do this work without excuses for the next 2 days. Then increase it with small targets. Remember, the beginning may be small, but the journey will be long. 2. The biggest enemy of consistency is the all or nothing attitude. Many people think there's no benefit if they can't follow perfectly. Suppose you decided to study for 30 minutes every day, but one day you only get 10 minutes. Now there are 2 paths. You can either say, "What's the use? I'll start again tomorrow." Or you can say, "Doing something is better than nothing, even if it's just a little." The first option takes you backward. The second moves you forward. Consistency doesn't mean perfection, but continuous progress. 3. The 2-minute rule, an easy way to adopt new habits. If you want to form a new habit, make it so easy that there are no excuses. Want to start studying? Just open the book for 2 minutes. Want to exercise? Just do 2 push-ups. Want to start journaling? Just write 1 line. When habits seem easy, the mind doesn't reject them, and once you start, you naturally want to continue. 4. Trick your mind. If you ever stray from discipline, ask yourself this question: if I postpone today, will my dream also be postponed? Suppose you want to start a business, but keep putting it off day after day. Now ask yourself, if I don't do it today, will I still be standing at the same place after 5 years? Remember, every small action brings you closer to the person you want to become. 5. How to maintain 48-hour consistency throughout life. Step 1. Take the 48-hour challenge. Step 2. Make small improvements. Step 3. Hold yourself accountable. Write in a diary or tell a friend. Step 4. Keep targets flexible. Make them smaller, but don't abandon them. Only those who make discipline and consistency easy and enjoyable can maintain them. Final words. Millions of people in the world dream big, but only those who take small steps every day succeed. Are you ready to start this journey for 48 hours? If yes, victory will be yours. Lesson 8. The next step. How to continue growth even after 48 hours. You've worked incredibly hard for 48 hours. Now the question is, what next? Many people try to make changes in just one burst, but the real magic happens when this change is sustained. If you work hard for just 2 days and then return to old patterns, there's no benefit. So it's essential that this 48-hour startup momentum continues. 1. The 48-hour review. What went right and what needs improvement? Every journey requires pausing to see if the path is correct. If you've worked hard for 48 hours, ask yourself these 3 questions. Did I achieve my target? What things seemed easy or very difficult? If I do this for the next 30 days, will I become better? If the answer is yes, move forward. If not, make adjustments. 2. The easiest way to avoid losing momentum. The biggest mistake people make is being full of enthusiasm for the first 2 or 3 days, then gradually cooling down. This is exactly where the real victory or defeat happens. If you started the gym, continue for another 48 hours. If you developed a habit of waking up early, follow it for another 2 days. If you began learning a new skill, repeat it for another 48 hours. Whoever doesn't stop will reach the top. 3. How growth becomes automatic. The habit stacking method. If you've done something for 48 hours, now link it to your routine. In simple language, this is called habit stacking. 5 minutes of exercise after brushing. 10 minutes of reading after having tea. Planning the next day before sleeping. This makes new habits form automatically without much effort. 4. The boredom barrier in growth. The biggest enemy in every new habit or change is when things start to feel boring. This is where 90% of people give up. Following the same routine becomes tedious, but success comes to those who continue doing boring things. This is real discipline, not just doing something as long as it's fun, but as long as it's necessary. 5. Accountability hacks. How to make yourself responsible. If someone is watching your progress, you become more serious. Tell your friend what you're doing. Post on social media that you'll work on this habit for the next 30 days. Set up a reward system. If I do this for the next 48 hours, I'll give myself a gift. 6. From 48 hours to 48 days, long-term growth plan. First 2 days, just starting the habit. Next 7 days, setting it in your daily routine. Next 21 days, strengthening it so it becomes a habit. Next 48 days, now it will become part of your life. Remember, one day of change won't create miracles, but small changes every day will take you where you want to be. Final words. The journey won't stop. Now it will become a lifestyle. If you've adopted something new for 48 hours, it doesn't mean you should stop now. The real game has just begun. Every day, take one more step forward. Remember, those who develop the habit of continuing are the ones who make history. So are you ready to stay on the path of growth from 48 hours to 48 days, and then for life? Conclusion. If you thought that bringing major changes in life requires months or years of effort, now you know that's not true. Just 48 hours, 2 days, used correctly can change the direction of your life. You've learned how the psychological effect of deadlines makes us focused and productive. You've also learned that setting the right goals, resetting your mindset, forming new habits, and eliminating your biggest weakness is not impossible. It just requires the right strategy. Now, the only question is, are you ready to apply this 48-hour rule in your life? Or will you continue living the same old life, where you keep postponing your dreams by saying, one day? Remember, 48 hours can change anyone's life if used correctly. Make the decision now, take the first step now, and give yourself the opportunity to achieve the success you deserve. Friends, that's all for today's audiobook, and I hope you enjoyed it. For those who haven't liked this audiobook yet, I request you to like and also subscribe to our channel, Vorldrevolution, because our main objective is to provide you with new and powerful information that can improve your life. Now, please comment and tell us. Suppose someone has given you 48 hours to complete a task. What would be the first step you would take to complete that work correctly and on time? Let's meet in another new and powerful audiobook. Until then, stay happy and always keep your family happy. As always, I'll say again something. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please remember to subscribe to receive notification of upcoming recordings. See you in next video.